Magnus will do a wrap-up. So like we said earlier, this is the 7th section, the webinar series finale, 7 out of 7, and we're thankful to God and every other person who has supported us. So Magnus is going to do a wrap-up to take us through all the panelists and give vote of thanks and pay tribute to all of them who have been with us for this past 7 weeks. So Magnus, please go ahead and do justice to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vivian. I must say it's been a very, very interesting 7 weeks. Every week we've always looked forward to every Wednesday, 12 o'clock, ensuring that our slides, our panelists, the communication is going out, and so on and so forth. And it's very important to note that we've really received tremendous support from very great and noble and global brands, both within Africa and a couple of them from outside of Africa. So on the 3rd, this webinar series actually started on the 3rd of June. And on the 3rd of June, just like today, where we have 3 beautiful ladies, on 3rd of June, we had 3 handsome men. And the first of them was Iyolua Aboyeji, the co-founder, Future Africa, Andela, and Flutterwave. And in this session, and we also had a representative, the director from the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, and in person of Orihu Iho Otejeri, and Marcus Rose from Zero Accounting. These men were able to do justice to our debut session, which is going digital. I mean, and this idea of going digital was born out of the need to ensure that businesses that were beginning to suffer can tend to begin to get 1 or 2 lights and begin to do 1 or 2 things in place with the hope that towards the end of this year or sometime in the near future, their business can thrive, can scale, and they can basically survive the pandemic. So kudos to Ihi, kudos to Iho, and kudos to Marcus for being the first panelist lineup that we had in the debut session on the 3rd of June. And their brands are notable brands across board. We all know what Lagos State does. We've received a couple of payments, and made payments using the Flutterwave app and Zero. And like we hear when Vivian does her own closing, you will see some of the slight features of some of the things that we at VM Professional Solution does. So next slide, Viv. Okay, then because it's a weekly session, so after the 3rd of June, we had the next one. And Vivian coincidentally was the first moderator. So thank you, Vivian. You were the first moderator in the first debut session. And luckily for you, you are the moderator in our season finale. I was privileged to be the moderator and host of the 2nd session. And the topic of that session was e-commerce outlook for Nigerian MSME. Like we've heard today when Abibat and Ifi and Adeze did speak, one of the key things in our country today is that businesses need to be online. So one of the things we also try to review in the 2nd session was what are the available platforms for businesses to take their goods, to take their products, to take their services, to take their activities online. And in that 2nd session, we're joined by Jeffrey Williams of Interswitch, is the group head merchant acquiring. We also had Joel Bronkowski, who joined us from Cape Town, far away South Africa. He's the head of strategic partnership at Paystack. We had my very good friend, Kartik Raichura. He's the CEO and co-founder of websites.co.in. Again, far away India, and he was almost like 4 or 5 hours, time difference with us. He had to stay awake to be able to join some of our activities. Then, lastly, on that day, we had Paul Itanwansa, who recently also retired from the Delta State IRS. One thing you will see in the first 2 sessions was that we also try to ensure that we bring the revenue authorities closer, because everything that we do in this country today, like you would have heard, the FIRS, the various state inland revenue, whatever you do, everybody is looking and monitoring to make sure that as you're making money, you're paying your taxes. And like we heard today, we need to make sure that our business is correctly structured. Our business needs to be different from our personal activities, meaning that for every profit that you make, there is a tax. Tax is not on your capital. Tax is on the profit that you made. And the profit is after you've even deducted all your attributable expenses. So you need to make sure that you have proper books of records so that when the tax man comes, you'll be able to present a worthy account and position your business for any funding that you probably have. So this meant we're able to talk to us on what it takes for us to be able to take our business to the cloud, what available platforms we need, platforms like Paystack, platforms like Shopify, and Vivian did do a small intro into Shopify because the people from Shopify were unable to join at the last minute. So, and we also looked at, you need a website to be able to connect some of your activities. And there were discussions on that day along the lines where people now start receiving payments even from using Instagram. So social media platforms can also be seen as some form of an e-commerce platform. And it's important for any business as little as possible to get into using social media platform. So following on that, the next week again, Vivian did assist us, which is on the 17th of June. And we also did have support again from InterSwitch. They volunteered to support us in the second session and in the third session. So on the third session, we looked at going digital retail because retail is also in the heart of what we do on a daily basis. So people are always buying and selling. People are always looking for what to buy, where to spend. So we had Adedeji Fanion, who is the head corporate transformation at Health Plus. Health Plus is a chain of pharmaceutical stores across Lagos and several other places. We have Inalebu Alogu, who is group head Dev Digital from InterSuite. And we also had Peter Magna, sales and marketing director from Iridium Business Solutions, again, also from South Africa. And here we're able to delve into what, other activities that retail businesses need to do. How do you structure a business? What tools do you need? How to go about ensuring that you position your business more. We drew insight as to what Health Plus is doing that has made them successful. And there were hard decisions that some of these businesses had to take in view of COVID-19. So one thing that resounded from this session was that people should not be afraid to take the necessary hard decision. Next slide, please. Then following on that, like you all know, it's every Wednesday. So the next Wednesday was the 24th of June. I was privileged to moderate this session, and we had Dr. Mrs. Titilayo Fowokon, who is the group head, strategic tax and compliance at Dangote Industries Limited. We had Emmanuel Obi, the business and sales manager from Oracle NetSuite, and Daniel D'Souza, who is also a pre-sales senior special solution consultant, also from Oracle NetSuite. What we tried to do on the 24th of June was to explore and spotlight the enterprise business with particular emphasis to wholesale line of business, people who are involved in some large commercial activities. And Titilayo drew our attention, importantly, to the need to ensure that regardless of your size, business needs to embrace technology. And on that day, we looked at the Oracle solution, who is one of our partners, that this can mirror to begin to understand some of the things that they do. It was a very long discussion because we also had to go do a bit deep dive into a few of the Oracle solution that was on display on that day. Then the following week, which is the 1st of July, luckily for us, the first day of the first month of this month, 1st of July, we also had our Going Digital manufacturing session. And our Vivian, co-founder and partner, was the moderator and host on that day. And it was a very interesting and inspiring day, as you see with the color on the team and the beautiful face and the handsome faces of the men who were our panelists on that day. We had the acting director of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria join us, Ambrose Oluche. We also had a prof in faraway US. Again, time zone difference He also assisted us, even though he's in Nigeria, but he's also lives and works, or is based in the US, and in person of Professor Onwubisi Ekekwe. He's the founder and chairman of Zenvus and Fast Micro Group. And we had our friends and partners from Oracle, Chidedun Kuchoma, the business and sales manager, and Samuel Oagu, senior solution consultant from Oracle. And on this day, we did try to look at what the Manufacturers Association are doing to support manufacturing business. And it was important to note that one of the key things that came out that day was the fact that the Manufacturers Association are not just sitting on their hands. They are busy actively engaging. And one of the key stakeholders for them is the government and the relevant government agencies. We had insights and information along the line that when finished goods were produced and were being moved from point A to point B, they were being held up unduly, even though the government had given clear directives to our security agencies on the road to ensure that certain kinds of trucking activities containing essential goods should be allowed to move, but there were hindrances. Prof talked to us about the challenges in Nigeria and the fact that we need not wait for government for us to be able to innovate and drive ways. We also looked at the various Oracle solutions on display on that day, and there were lots of questions and answers and insights that were brought into what manufacturing was doing. The following day, the following week, which is the 8th of July, I came back again, and we now talked about going digital human resources. And on this day, we had a mixed breed. So we had beautiful ladies, Sandra Swanupel, who is a former colleague of mine in my prior life. She's currently the managing director for Space. We had Ukinebo Dare, who is the managing director for Edo Skills. We had Innocent Osege, managing partner for Human Capital Partners, and David Brown, the founding and managing partner for D Brown Consulting. And it was important to note because we're exploring one of the key resource area of businesses, which is human resources. We needed to look for a relevant body that can give us, concrete insights into the activities of employers. And we're able to get the Nigerian Employers Consultative Forum in attendance, and they were being represented by Olushola Ayodeji, the chief economist. On this day, we explored, what payroll solutions is available, what digital tools people can use. We looked at what is happening in Edo State, a case study of Edo Jobs, what they are doing to try and create jobs for the indigenes and the people in Edo State, and what other states governments in the federation can emulate to ensure what other state governments can emulate to ensure that they continue to keep their youth active. Innocent Osege did a wonderful job for us on that day when he highlighted the need for talent and how talent can position themselves to win jobs. Because of COVID-19, businesses are no longer doing face-to-face interviews. Some are doing video interviews. Some are doing recorded interviews. Candidates have got to ensure that your CV, your documentation, your packaging is right and suits the application. David Brown gave us a beautiful insight as to a research that his friend and three groups of his have done with regards to working from home. And the information that he shared, I want to encourage all our attendees and anybody who will listen to this recording later to please pay particular attention to the recording of that day to get insight into the indices of working at home. Olushola again highlighted some of the things that his association is doing to support employers in the Nigerian business. And finally, today, I don't know if I should give a comment, but today is the last day, season finale, where we had three beautiful ladies in conjunction with my partner Vivian to crown the whole Going Digital series with Going Digital Agriculture. And today we're able to understand the role of what Nourishing Africa is doing, what Babagona, I've always heard about that name. I don't know what they do until I started researching and preparing for this webinar. And our young and hardworking Bamidele Habibat, who happens to be in faraway Ilorin, where I also had my youth service a couple of years back. I'm not sure of the exact year. I don't want to give off my exact age, but I did serve in Loring. And today we spotlighted the agricultural sector, and we looked at what businesses need to do, digital tools that have to be in place, why your business needs to structure, funding is key, what you need to do to ensure funding. And guys, that's the entire value chain or service chain or life chain of the entire webinar, depending on how you want to call it. So we want to thank all of these panelists, their respective names. We want to appreciate all of their brands, both the Nigerian brands, the South African brands, the Indian brands, the brands in the US, the brands in the UK, all the brands that are partnered with us, even those that we've gone to, even the government agencies that we've approached to say, we need you to come on board and come and share your view that have turned us down. We want to appreciate each and every one of them. We will not be in this milestone without your support. Thank you very much. And we hope that we all continue to stay safe. We hope that we all continue to do well and that our respective businesses will grow and we will survive COVID-19. Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you, Magnus. Magnus, you've been talking about other people's profiles. We've been introducing panelists and talking about other people. Magnus, tell us about yourself.
Okay, so you all know me. My name is Magnus Nmonwu. I'm a co-founder, or rather, I'll just say I'm a partner and a trustee with the VM Professional Solution. Vivian did found this firm when I was in paid employment, and when I left paid employment, I had to come back and to join her to grow our own business. I'm an entrepreneur, basically. I have experience in information technology, tax, business, and financial consulting activities. I have over 20 years experience having worked in a manufacturing consulting firm, KPMG, and I also was the head of Sage Software Nigeria as a regional director responsible for Nigeria and Ghana. And Sage is basically an accounting software where we deal with accounting, deployment of accounting solution, outsourcing, and other related services. My fields of practical experience includes taxation, payroll and human resources, and business software solutions, especially in the area of payroll, accounting, human resources, customer relations management, and all other ERP solutions. I also have extensive experience in consulting for manufacturer, multinational and national companies in areas of personal income tax planning, compliance, pay-as-you-earn, regulations, tax audit engagements, be it state, be it federal. There is no state inland revenue in the country that I've not had to deal with because of my work. I assist in planning and administration of pension and provident funds. I provide business support, development and deployment services, consulting and outsourcing services, international executive and expatriate tax services. So, we have a lot of expatriates coming into Nigeria, and their tax implications likely has a bit of peculiarity that the expertise reside in a few. I also assist with arrival and tax briefing, immigration advisory and consulting related engagement. I've written articles and publications in both local and international journals. I've trained over 2,500 plus MSMEs and several large business owners on entrepreneurship and effective use of business software solutions, understanding and navigating personal and expatriate tax challenges. I have served in several speaker capacity in workshops, seminars, clinics, and radio programs on business software and other tax-related topics. I continue to impact lives by mentoring and supporting business owners, like you see with the webinar we're doing around this time, both micro, small, and medium businesses, employees, and individuals on business issues, leadership management, tax, information technology, and software-related services. Simply put, I understand what it takes to conduct or do your business in Nigeria. And with the support of VM, we're assisting a number of clients, we're assisting a number of individuals to ensure that their business is firmly rooted and they can navigate at the complexity and the challenges of working in Nigeria. Basically, anything along that line, the expertise beside us. Thank you very much, Vivian, for this time. And more importantly, before you take it, we also have, because someone is going to ask a question, what do you mean by trustee? So we have a crowdfunding platform called MSME Crowdfunding Foundation. And on that foundation, I'm a trustee, Vivian is a trustee. And what we basically do is we conduct skill training, we do crowdfunding, and we do handholding, only to support businesses. If you're sick or you need help to go to school, you need funding, we do not crowdfund to support that. All we do is to crowdfund anyone who has got a business idea, who wants to go into business, and who already has a business and want to scale. So our foundation is only there to support businesses. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Magnus. So I'm not going to take my own profile. So Magnus is my partner, my co-trustee, and my husband. I and Magnus, we have 4 children together, 2 girls and 2 boys. And
wow!
Thank you. Oh, that's a surprise.
Wow! Oh my God. I'm surprised. Wow.
I would say we went to the same kind of school. And when I talk about school, I mean consulting. So I cumulatively have over 12 years of experience in consulting and in bank. And then 6 years, that's a 5 years plus now at BM. So I am a fellow of ICANN, and I'm a CITN member. And working in consulting gives you opportunity for training and working across teams, both nationally and internationally. So we did a whole lot of brain cracking innovations, leading market segments, leading new products and services. And I was really opportune to be part of, there was a special group that Deloitte brought out. Deloitte was the last firm I worked with before I founded VM. And we called ourselves working as one cross-functional team, a team made up of champions, respective champions of the different service lines of the firm. Each one of us, I represented tax, and we needed to work together across functions to be able to develop new products and then cross-pollinate ideas among our teams and then identify cross-functional selling opportunities. So we worked together a lot. We pioneered a lot of things. I, for one, I led the tax solutions for the IFRS conversion stage when it was, through 2011 to 2013. I led the tax team on the IFRS conversion. And then I also joined the transfer pricing team as well during 2014, end of 2013, 2014, where we also pioneered the transfer pricing solutions when it was actually new in Nigeria. And we've had opportunity for training across board, working across functions, financial advisory, audit, IFRS faculty, tax, did mergers and acquisitions, did a whole lot of tax audits, indirect and direct taxes, personal tax, company tax. We focused on consumer business, manufacturing. Then during the IFRS conversion, we focused on banks. So we worked with a lot of banks, a lot of big firms, large firms, manufacturing, consumer business, and then some tech companies. Then tech companies were not as popular as they are right now. So it was, we had to develop a solution for MSMEs then. So we started, okay, let's even see how we can reach out to them and train them. So we started engaging some churches like Mountain of Fire, later day, I can't remember the name, sorry. So some churches like that, Pentecostal churches, and then we went, and then it was overwhelming. The turnout of MSM is a Covenant Capital, yes. That was the first place we went to, Covenant Christian Center. So the turnout was overwhelming. Like we saw that people actually have need. They wanted to learn about tax. So it was from there that the idea to found VM was born, because we kept going from church to church, and I'm like, what's the solution? And Magnus was already in Sage, heading the Sage office, and they were into tech. So I'm like, can tech meet consulting? You know, so that was how VM was born. And I felt that if tech should meet consulting, it would help us to reach out to numberless people at the same time, instead of, you know, going from place to place, and people can tap in, you know, and then gain access. So we did quite a lot of training. I also championed at VM, we got engaged by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and I championed the weekly tax discourse. We did tax publications every week to enlighten Nigerians, especially small businesses. The same thing I was doing just before we left Deloitte was what we replicated for FRS, so that people can read it on the newspaper and also read online in the Guardian newspaper to understand week by week what taxes apply, how does it apply to, you know, and it was good while it lasted. And I thank FRS for giving us that opportunity. We placed our business or our firm at a niche position. Then we have also worked with tax officials. I've had the opportunity to train tax officials on different occasions, numbering at over 300, on understanding financial statements and IFRS. When I say IFRS, I mean International Financial Reporting Standards. That we've been training MSMEs, you know, in different places. I don't even know the number. I just said 2,500 plus because I don't know the number. At the time, I was running programs on the radio on Inspiration FM on tax. Every Wednesday, then I would come on Work Wednesday and then talk about tax. And then the response was also overwhelming. People needed to learn about tax. Then we partnered with the Catholic Archdiocese of Lagos in 2017, thereabout, to train MSMEs on tax and business skills, you know, business process improvement and all. So that's how we transitioned from, you know, working for other people to founding our own firm, so we can continue to solve problems where our passion lies. So I'm also a trustee at the MSME Crowdfunding Foundation, something that also came up from several trainings we were running. People also were always from transitioning from the need to gain advisory or technical insight into their businesses. They just wanted funding, you know, and we're like, how are we going to fund all these people? Though we do some forms of charity, I and Magnus, at some point or the other, but not to contain a house full or a hall full of small businesses. Some of them needed just 50,000 naira. So we thought about crowdfunding, and crowdfunding was already reigning in the Western world, Kickstarter and the likes. And we said, okay, let's even build a platform. And to confess, before we were able to get solutions on crowdfunding for that will work in Africa, you know, like people can come and do their own campaigns. We didn't want to be a funnel for anything. We just wanted everything to be, you know, transparent. So if you go to the website, you will see a lot of zero campaigns, because nobody is allowed to change anything from the back end or any manipulation whatsoever. So people come in, set up their campaigns. All we do is make sure that we guide them, you know, as much as we can. People are still learning these things, you know. We need to guide them on how to even create good campaigns and launch it. So when your campaign is successfully launched, is transparent to the world what you have raised. You get an email notification once you get any 1 naira or anything. So that was our solution to the funding issues. So that's why we registered it under a foundation, because it wasn't meant to, you know, be something that we'll make profit from. It was our own way of trying to give back. But VM also has, you know, the mandate to make sure that businesses that receive funding there, and when the platform begins to thrive as it should, we will use that funding, you know, to do business. So we're going to guide them, and they have to also budget their crowdfunding platform, budget for that guidance, because nobody is going to leave his or her work to do something for VM for 1 whole year and holding somebody in the north, in the east, because those are where the campaigns are actually coming from. and you're not going to remunerate the person. So that's just about MSME Crowdfunding Foundation, www.fundandenterprise, fundandenterprise.org. So that's about me. We're now going to talk about VM in more details. I gave some filters about how VM came about and what VM has been doing. Magnus also pointed in that area. So VM is a technology-focused tax audit and advisory services firm, like, mixing technology and consulting together to serve more people, to make it more affordable, to make things more flexible, and to deliver effectiveness. So VM was the first professional services firm in Nigeria to be engaged by the Federal Inland Revenue Service to write and educate taxpayers through publications in the newspaper, and also the first to partner with Archdiocese of Lagos to work with MSMEs and to train them on business advisory and tax skills. And then we developed our first product was actually Tax Assist, vmtaxassist.com. It was a solution to help small businesses to see how it all plays out. When you talk about VAT, withholding tax, PAYE, payroll, pay slips, Tax Assist can also give you pay slips for small businesses. They log in and see how it plays out. You see the calculators, you just put in your numbers, and then it runs the calculations for you, tells you the rates of withholding tax, where to pay to. You can even click a button and pay through remitter through the website. So many small businesses benefited from it, but I don't know if the timing was right, because at some point people started saying, is this LRS way of getting us into the tax net? Is this FRS? So we were able to help like 2,600, over 2,600 or about people who subscribe and are using the platform. But right now the platform is undergoing a major upgrade because, through learning and through experience, we need to upgrade it to be at par with the type of quality we're trying to put up. So Tax Law Book is the first compendium of tax laws in a mobile app to make it easy for people to access, read, and understand the Nigerian tax laws. During my last month's Deloitte, first of all, when you join consulting and you're in the tax function, you have to carry a Bible, and your Bible are the tax laws in one huge book, and you have to study it. I had a boss that anytime he's doing a meeting and you're with him, he expects you to give him the name and number of the sections in the tax laws. I owned up that I couldn't do it. It was too much wrong. All I needed to know is there's a provision in the law somewhere under the CIT that says this. That was enough for me, and it was already too much work. So in our journey to teach tax and to train people to develop materials, we needed something handy too. And we needed to also make it handy for other people to say, why don't we collapse this whole book into a mobile app that people can search and say, okay, section 1 of CITA, what is it? And it takes you straight there. You talk about Pioneer, search for it, so it's an easy way. So that's how Tax Law Book app came about. It's available on the Google stores and the iOS store. It has also been upgraded, from where we started. And by the time we finish the upgrade on VM Tax Assist, we're going to merge it to the Tax Law Book, the app. So it becomes a one-stop tool for businesses, for finance professionals, for students as well. We're going to be having a whole lot of learning materials, ebooks and courses and stuff, and then calculators as well. And we have a number of them, but development is ongoing. So please watch that. You can also download the Tax Law Book now. It has more than enough materials to to help any business and any professional already before we finish the upgrade. So when you download, it's free. The in-app purchase is also very affordable. When you open it, you have loads and loads and loads of tax material, and you only pay for that in-app purchase once for the lifetime. We are covered under any updates or upgrades. So we also have vmtalentassist.com. VM Talent Assist has now been upgraded as well to be a talent platform where people can search, post jobs, do recruitment process, hire, interview. Everything is online from your dashboard. Applicants, candidates can apply through the platform, and you can interview them. You see the number of applications there, communicate real time, share files on the platform. So it's also a good tool for talents and employer, talent seeking employment and talent in business to meet and connect. And we, took time to put a whole lot of things to make it a one-stop shop for talent. So we give you learning materials, you are able to showcase your skills, your CV. If you want, we can feature you on the homepage, especially, do all the, branding on the homepage to feature you. But it comes at a fee. You can also advertise your job on the homepage, it comes at a fee. We have relationship segments where we advise young people, talent about relationships. We have career part segments where I share my stories and my experiences for other young women out there, because it has always been a question for me that when young women ask me, Vivian, how are you doing it? With 4 children, how are you doing it? And then the house help wahala. In fact, what I always say is just take it one day at a time. That's it, and be happy. When you want to be happy, be happy. Don't let anything restrict your happiness. When I want to fight, I fight, fight like no other. So I can ease off the emotions, and continue what I'm doing. And God is very, very faithful, up to now. So VM Talent has all that. If you go to the website, vi-mtalent.com, you see everything it has to offer. Then the crowdfunding website, which is under the MSME Crowdfunding Foundation, is fundandenterprise.org. That one is also helpful. Then we partner with a whole lot of, accounting software companies, because we're not, a fan of reinventing a wheel that's already working perfectly. So we have several partnerships with different accounting software and ERP companies, payroll companies, anyone you want, anyone that we profile your business first, and then we find the one that is suitable for you. We also help you do content writing for your website, because we're consultants, and we help you to write your content and even design your website or help you to get a store on Shopify. And then we have Zero Accounting, we have Wave Apps, which is free for those asking questions about how to go about bookkeeping. Wave Apps is free, or VM can train you on how to use it. Then we have QuickBooks, we have Sage One, we have Sage Products, we have Oracle NetSuite ERP systems, we have Payspace, Human Resource Management, we have FreshBook. In fact, practically all the notable accounting software, we will have to profile your business to know which one that is suitable for you, and also profile your budget to know what you can afford, and then we recommend. So that we also help businesses to get a proper structure, like the agricultural businesses you're talking about. We've registered quite a number. Over the lockdown, we registered up to 7 new businesses. And even now, even before this webinar, somebody called to say, I want to register my business. Is it business name or company? First of all, you have to advise. They're not paying for the advice. You now have to ask, what do you intend to do? What's your long-term plan? Okay, go for this, go for that, which is a value addition we're offering before we register the business. So you guide the entrepreneur, the startup business, right from scratch. So over 1 million businesses, MSMEs in Nigeria are not registered. Where are thou? Where are you guys? Come through to VM. We will help you. Okay. So people were also asking us about, the webinars. Okay, for instance, I belong to a group that is Lady Realtors Group. I think they were waiting for me to say, okay, this is going digital real estate. which we never got around to doing, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't part of the industry focus over the weeks. So we had to merge several industries and talk about them, under different topics. So the first one on going digital successfully, well, it was focused on all industries, all business sectors. During that time there was a hype about digital, um, digitizing business processes, digitizing sales, human resources, because of the social distance that the COVID-19 brought about. And also the importance of business numbers. We ourselves at VM, not because of the COVID-19, we have always, been telling people your accounting process, your financial reporting, your business data, you need to use a tool that can help you, a digital tool. So it cut across all industry sectors, and it was titled Going Digital Successfully for those people who were not familiar with digitization or what it entailed. So VM can also help, on the industry focus, we have solutions, we have accounting and ERP software solutions, not developed by VM, but we partnered with third parties because we cannot reinvent the wheel. No one does it better than the specialists. We have the tax logbook app, which I've mentioned, to help the tax function of businesses. We have VM Talent Assist for SMEs and other talents, generally applicants for job. We have advisory services and software recommendations, which we have done quite a lot. We have online training courses and ebooks on finance, bookkeeping, tax. We keep running these trainings. Even if you go to our website, you see available ones. Then we offer traditional tax audit and business services. And then, of course, people can use our crowdfunding to raise funds. All we need to do is ensure you have a proper structure for the funds to thrive, and ensure that you know how to raise campaign and you're not just raising it and using your business as a front. Meanwhile, you actually need money to buy a car or to buy food. So for the farmers in our midst today, for those in agriculture, we can also help you register your business, because a large number of micro businesses are playing in that sector and they're not registered. And then help you to figure out a way. There are special accounting packages which are small and affordable for farmers. If you're in livestock, if you're in crop farming, you have those software, cloud-based, that you can use on your phone as well to help you track your farm produce. And if your estimates are not as, ongoing estimates, you reestimate, you examine your livestock, your crops, what will I have? You keep changing it on the software and keep tracking the numbers. And then you have a good accounting financial report in case you need funding, just like our speakers have noted. So these are solutions that VM has for that focus. Then the second one, e-commerce outlook for MSME. We targeted MSMEs who were seeking to start selling online or on social media or via websites. We just needed websites. Now, I talked earlier about how VM can help you write good content for your website, or get a small website that is based on like GoDaddy, for instance, or website.co. You don't need any knowledge of software or you don't need to have a developer to do that kind of website or e-commerce store. If you base it on Shopify, which is already an existing platform, all you need to do is put your content there, rebrand it, and you're live. You can even finish it in 1 hour if you already have your content. Just upload and you're live on the web. So we also have accounting solutions that can integrate with e-commerce websites or your own websites into the accounting software and into the payroll software as well, end to end. And it can also integrate with CRM or any other software by the side that you want to integrate. We have them, and we can help you to do end-to-end integration. So you watch your numbers live and you account for them, and you make sure your stock of goods are not lost and all other controls. Then the tax logbook app is always helpful for any kind of business. That day we had someone, a tax man, come to talk to us about how government will intensify effort to make sure that the digital economy is properly taxed. So if you don't have something to help yourself or to even understand what you're doing, like the tax law book app, if you're selling online, someone might just come after you and tell you you're owing this amount of tax, come and pay. What are you going to do? And the beauty of the app is you can ask us any question from there and we will answer you. You can ask questions from there. You can book a service from there. It's very easy. Just like you're accessing the laws and the resources, the treaties, the secular, whatever it is, you open it, they are all there. You can access whatever you don't understand, you ask us and we'll respond. Then we have online training services as well and software recommendation services. Then the third section was on going digital retail for retailers generally, everyone doing retail, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, hospitality, even though they are not quite open now. But if you're in retail and you want to automate the process, at least to put controls to make sure you're not losing stock, to make sure that people selling for you at the cashiers, you have an automated system and even the procurement managers that everyone keys into. So if you're running a large chain of business, retail business, we have ERPs. If you're running just one or two stores, we have accounting software that also have inbuilt CRM that can connect to e-commerce in case you want to sell online and offline as well, and we can help you. If your business is not registered, we can help you register. Point of sale software, payment gateway integrations, tax help. If you want to set up your software, because in this era of value-added tax, if you're selling and your people don't even know what VAT applies to, what value-added tax applies to, and what it does not apply to, you might end up running into problems, which we have seen in practice many times with the tax authorities. And if you're keeping a manual system as a retailer, all these shops and stores that we see around, they just keep a manual record. It's going to be very tedious for you. You lose cash. Unless you have like a sister or brother who is there, who really loves you, or you always be there. You never go on vacation. You never close, but it's very, very tedious. If you automate things will run even when you're not there. And it's cloud. We're using cloud-based systems, so you can even monitor. Some people were locked out of their businesses. They're still in the US up till now, but they can monitor with their cloud-based software what is being sold, what each user is doing, set up the tax on each item, where is tax exempt to set up. So that's what VM will do and does in that area. So the other one, the next one, going digital, large businesses, multinationals, conglomerates, construction companies, hospitals, schools, for those that are still doing anything. That was the industry focus. Wholesalers with large distributors with large supply chains. We tried to see if there was there were things that could be said or done, or expert tips, that can help, even though digitization may not help with everything. For instance, you're clearing goods and government needs to, examine the goods, clear you pay customs duty. Sometimes those goods will be there for weeks, nobody to even do any inspection for you, and you'll be paying demurrage and all that. So you cannot digitize government. Essentially, that's what I'm saying. So we tried to see if there were solutions. But what VM will do, in line with our own business activities, will be to help you to deploy enterprise resource planning solution. That's ERP or human resource management solution to help you. Oracle NetSuite, they displayed, that day they came live, so everybody saw what they could do, what it can help you also coordinate your teams from anywhere. So if you need help in that area, VM can support you, can give you traditional tax audits and business support. And then the tax law book is good for your tax function. And then those tax authorities, they are getting very aggressive now, even with the stamp duty. You never know where you're falling short and liabilities are accumulating. Then the next one was going digital manufacturing, targeted at all sizes of manufacturing businesses. So VM also has software solutions for large manufacturers. Then you also have, for small businesses, you have other accounting tools that you have Katana, Connect with Zero. It's very good for manufacturers, smaller manufacturers. Manufacturers can also try to crowdfund their projects or enterprises through fundandenterprise.org. So people need to believe in crowdfunding, really. Really, when does a small business get to qualify for loans in Nigeria? We have to be practical about it. A small business that is struggling to survive, when do you start building wealth? You need to start building wealth through savings, through investments, before you can even qualify to have a collateral to be able to access loans. So let's not deceive ourselves. Small businesses in Nigeria is very hard. You have to get to medium business, before you are able to access at least small business in the category. But most of us SMEs in Nigeria were micro, were small. So at the stage of micro and small, you're not entitled to a loan because you don't have the collateral, unless you're going to apply for small micro loans, 100,000, 200,000, something. But if you're going to apply for something that will be reasonable, you need collateral. And if people trust each other to crowdfund, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 here, if somebody already has 10 million, 20, and is a lifesaver for the small business, as long as they're able to demonstrate that they are real and genuine. So that's the beauty of crowdfunding for the African market, actually. So we have Going Digital Human Resources. That was last week. And we had panelists that gave us deep insights into this. The professionals in real core HR professionals. So industry focus, all businesses, all employers and employees. And then VM has VM Talent Assist for talents. VM has HRM and payroll software solutions. Just contact us. Then the tax law book, you absolutely need it to be able to manage employee taxes and other social security like pension. Then traditional HR and payroll related services, online courses, the ongoing live courses, actually recorded ones, e-learning, e-books, they're all here at VM. And then for talent that wish to crowdfund, fundandenterprise.org. Then the last one for today, I've already mentioned VM solutions that are available, accounting software meant for the farming business, those in agribusiness. So tailored to them, not just something that you can adapt. It's something that helps you to make your farming business more effective. You have the mobile app version, you have the cloud-based version online. As you're chatting on Facebook or on WhatsApp, you can always access your things and put them online. It's more effective and it's very affordable. So you can contact us for training on finance, management, bookkeeping. We run these trainings, tax and the likes, HR and the likes. So if you're into agribusiness and you feel you're too small to afford these services, try these software solutions, they're affordable. So that's just what VM has to offer to all the industries that we've covered. And then again, all the videos are available. So everyone can always go to YouTube. YouTube is free, so you don't have to pay to rewatch the video. You go there, always, look at the ideas that our panelists give and help yourself or help your business. You can watch at any time. So to contact VM Professional Solutions, our website is www.vm.com, clients@vm.com. That's our general email for all client inquiries. And then these numbers on the screen, you can contact me or Magnus via these numbers. We're the principal partners. And then we're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. So anyhow you want to contact us anytime, anywhere, just drop us a message and we'll get it and respond to you.